Okay, a lot of people ask me about my grip and how do I lock up a cradle. A lot of times when I teach the cradle, people tend to let go of this elbow and they lock right here. I don't like this because the guy has enough room to move around. He can still fight me off, and he has two hands to fight my lock. Now, if I still have his elbow, I basically control his whole arm. All he has right now is just this hand and his legs. Right here I feel nice and secure. This is tight. And his arm is still around his neck, so it's kind of taken away from some of his breathing a little bit. And it's really distracting for him when it comes to breaking my lock. And as soon as I put my knee to the side, this is really uncomfortable for the guy. It makes him not even want to kick his legs. So right here, I just feel it is a lot more tighter. There's a lot less room for him to move around, and he only has one hand to fight my lock now. Now, I've seen sometimes when people lock and they grab their lock, set this foot up. When people reach through and grab their lock, sometimes they'll grab right here in their hands. Here, I find that it kind of weakens the grip a little bit because I'm digging my own fingers into my grip. Now, I like to reach up a little higher and grab my own wrist. So right here on my wrist is where I want to be. When I'm down here, I'm weakening my lock a little bit. It's not as strong as just holding this guy and gripping him right there. You got to throw him through. A lot of times I have to deal with guys who have their shoulders up, or they're just really good at fighting, or they're just really giving me a tough time. So I want to take away some of his space. I like to move my lock away from my body, and I like to take his knee as close to his face by basically moving my lock away. And I'm pulling his arm tighter across his chest or his neck. So when I get here, there's several things you can do to make it more tighter or more uncomfortable for this guy. Now I like to take my lock and I move it away from my body, pulling his arm tighter across his neck. My bottom leg still is going to be in his armpit, but now, as I'm doing that, as you can see, his leg is kind of coming up a little bit higher, and I'm getting his head up off the mat. That makes it tighter. It just puts a lot less space in there, and I want to really make sure that I have a good grip on his elbow so I can pull it out. Also, another thing, this guy's going to be kicking his leg up because that's pretty much his only leverage he's going to have to get off the mat or to get his back off the mat. So when his leg is coming down, I like to catch it with this other leg and rake it in about knee deep and then try and touch my toe down to the mat. It just makes his body, as you can see, his body's curving up a lot more and it gets a lot tighter. So now I just took away all his ways to fight. Now all he has left is his hands.